I restarted the stream. If you go to my channel, pick up the live one again, because it saves. You'll be at the old one. That should be a little better. It's not as good as quality, but it shouldn't fuck up as much. 720. So the crafting system in this is quite in depth. Oh, why am I stopping? Everybody's vanishing. Welcome back.
I had to come back, it was a mess. No.
So there's gathering, processing, cooking, alchemy, training, fishing, hunting, trading, farming, sailing. These are all the professions.
Yeah, choose just a few of them, or
No, you do them all. And then you can hire people to work on farms for you. Have gardens. You can pretty much level your character by trading. There's a trading system where you buy materials in one area, check the market base, and this is separate from auction. This is not stuff that you buy at auction. This is stuff traded between towns. So you would check which town is selling it, buying it for the most. You would get yourself a wagon, either buy it or make one. There's many different types of different sizes and varieties. And a team of horses, and transport that stuff from town to town and resell it.
okay. Got a little bit of something for everybody.
Yeah, that's quite a bit here. Watch, I'll get my crappy old wagon out. I'll show you. Pretty sure I have it stored here.
A horse on the first move. You must be a natural horse whisperer.
All right. Austin. Right. Oh shit.
Time magazine came out for impeaching Donald Trump.
That's the cover? Is that the cover?
I have no doubt that if Hillary Clinton was president, they would already have begun impeachment and hearings. It doesn't matter about what. They just would have done it. Time says the emoluments clause, which is basically, and obviously the Trump family is in violation of this. You cannot take gifts from foreign countries. They're doing it all the time. To say nothing of the mental problem. Al, when will the impeachment hearing start?
Let me remind you again that the Republicans are in the majority. So I think it's months and months away.
Really?
Look, I know everybody wants a quick fix on this, but this is going to be a bit of a marathon. But I'm so encouraged. You're right. What this week has been incredibly encouraging, and the energy around the country. We're seeing red districts where people are showing up at the town halls. Hundreds of people are showing up at the town halls. There's a tremendous amount of energy, and I want to encourage people to keep that up.
Right.
And it really helps. And we got hundreds of thousands of calls about Betsy DeVos at the Senate, and that makes a difference because she is on notice now. And she's not going to be able to do a lot of the things that I think she wanted to do because of that.
Like walk into a public school.
What you people do makes a huge difference.
She couldn't even do that today. It would have been the first time. Okay, so Donald Trump.
The first time in a public school?
Yeah, she could. There were protesters wouldn't let her walk into the school.
Yeah, and it would have been the first time. I got the joke now. The audience was laughing so hard.
All right, last question now, then I'll let you go. I appreciate
Okay.
your time. Okay. Politico says that there was a meeting yesterday, and Donald Trump, with 10 senators, 6 of whom were Democrats. And Donald Trump said to Kelly Ayotte, who was the Republican senator from New Hampshire, who lost narrowly, as he did in New Hampshire. Donald Trump said in this meeting, thousands of people were brought in on buses from neighboring Massachusetts to illegally vote in New Hampshire. So once again, the president is seeing multitudes that no one else sees. And it said there was an awkward silence. An awkward silence, and there were 6 Democratic senators in the room. I would hope that if you were one of those senators, you wouldn't have just been awkwardly silent. You would have said, no, excuse me, Mr. President, that didn't happen.
I would have said something like that.
You would have.
I would have said, oh, come on.
What?
You got to stop doing this, Mr. President.
Right.
You know, just stop it. I mean, the 3 to 5 million illegal people didn't show up and vote for all of them for Hillary, and it didn't happen. And just stop doing that. It is. It's very disturbing. And I asked Jeff Sessions about this in the judiciary hearings, and I said, the Attorney General is the one in charge of the laws in this country, including election laws. Did you kind of discuss this with him? Are you concerned about this? And this is very, very, very disturbing that the president has a habit of either imagining things or making stuff up. It's really outside the norm of not just of presidents, but of human beings.
All right, Al, you were great at the hearings. We love you for it. Senator Al Franken, everybody. All right, thank you, Al. Let's meet our panel. Hey, how are you, pal? Hey, there's... Okay, oh, look, the applause died soon. All right, make it up for it. All right, let's meet the panel. He is a filmmaker, please, an auteur, a maestro, a trailblazer. I'll fire whoever wrote that.
Thank you.
And one of my first gay friends, who's an author whose annual Valentine's Day comedy tour will hit Seattle this coming Monday. John Waters is over here. advisor and national spokesman for MoveOn.org, Karine Jean-Pierre. Great to see you here for the first time. And he's the U.S. editor-at-large for DailyMail.com. We used to see him on CNN. I was on there all the time. I even hosted it once. Piers Morgan is over here. All right, don't forget to send us your questions for tonight's overtime so we can answer them after the show on YouTube. So, as I said, it was a pretty good day for those of us who think we're in the resistance. You know, they said that old cliche that the Constitution was created by geniuses so that idiots could run it. And we're giving that a good test, aren't we? The judicial branch really did check the executive branch, and that's what we want to happen. The lesson, I think, here is that it is personal. People think they're so high-minded. He insulted judges. When he said that thing about the so-called judge, and if something happens, blame him, I think every judge in the country was like, you know what? There are other people than you, Donald Trump, who have an ego. He's insulted so many people. He's insulted the CIA and heads of corporations and senators and now the judiciary. I just don't think you can insult people like this for that long and ever have any sort of success doing anything.
But what about what we've just heard, though? We just had a senator say he's mentally ill, right? He's an idiot. I mean, this is a two-way street, isn't it? No, I wouldn't have personally voted for Donald Trump. He's not my politics, and I'm not even American, so I couldn't vote for him if I wanted to. But, you know, I didn't think anything could match the hysteria in Britain since we left Europe, and I voted to stay in. But this hysteria about these racist, sexist Neanderthals who've seized control of our country. And now come to Los Angeles, where if you don't say that Trump's the new Hitler, you get tarred, feathered, and dragged to Santa Monica Pier, and you get drowned and beaten within an inch of your life. And I just think it's time everybody took a massive, gigantic chill pill.
But he is mentally ill.
He's not mentally ill. He's the president of the United States. He won a free democratic election.
You don't think kings can be mentally ill?
Well, King George III had a few problems, and if he hadn't, we might still be ruling America.
He takes it personally. He takes it personally, and says terrorists about everything. And to me, I can understand in some way. Like I sometimes wonder, moderate Muslims, aren't they against all gay people? But still, I don't say they can't come in. It's like Catholics have been terrorizing me for decades, and and I don't say no Italians.
But that's an interesting point of view I have not heard before, And I think, you're on the page with a lot of Republicans because I think what they can do is separate the crazy. You may call it, not mentally ill, but it is crazy. There is crazy out there. Yeah. And they think, well, we can put that in a box over here and just use him for policy. But I don't think that works because eventually the crazy is going to sabotage the policy, even if the policy was good.
Yeah, I just wanted to say to Pierce's point, I think the thing to understand is that if you are not white, male, straight, you fear a Donald Trump's presidency because there is no place for you in a Donald Trump's presidency. And I think that's the thing that you're missing. And if you look at the 18 months of what Donald Trump did and what he said, he ran the most anti-immigration campaign that we have ever seen. He talked about Mexicans, calling them rapists and criminals. He talked about Muslim bans, and it is fearful for all
but
of us.
He was also the first Republican president to stand there on Inauguration Day and actually talk about the lesbian and gay community of America. Now, I'm not expecting to...
read the Republican platform on it.
Okay, but look, read the Republican platform. It was the most divisive inauguration speech I've ever heard.
Yeah, but here's my point. He did say it, and he got absolutely zero even acknowledgement for saying it. So I say, look, if you want to terrorize him and demonize him, fine. But it has to be fair to be effective. And all this squealing and howling is self-defeating.
He's the president of the United States. He needs to put his big boy pants on. Then don't be president of the United States. That's what you're going to get. You're going to get criticized.
That is a good point.
Let me just show you, first of all, let me just show you something he said this week. Show the tape where I was a good student. I think it starts with his reacting to the Muslim man. To your point about whether he is mentally ill or not.
I understand things. I comprehend very well. Okay? Better than, I think, almost anybody.
Okay, not only is that mentally ill, but it reminded me of this movie.
I can handle things. I'm smart. Not like everybody says. Like, dumb. I'm smart, and I want respect.
Exactly. You know, other presidents have lost in court before. Here's how a former president, who was so much more mature than the president we have now, who we so wish we had back, handled it when he lost in court.
First of all, it's the Supreme Court decision. We'll abide by the court's decision. That doesn't mean I have to agree with it.
See, I thought you thought I was going to go for Obama. And then
I thought you were going to do Nixon.
That's right, okay. But isn't that something we're at a place where we're missing George Bush?
Yeah.
With George Bush. I mean, Barbara. It bothers me that you're trying to make the case that this is somehow normal. This is not normal. We're not wrong to be saying that we are trying to cling to some sort of normalization.
No, but okay, but let me throw you George Bush then, because people say Trump's a monster, right? He's the new Hitler and so on. George W. Bush was the one that took this country and my country into an illegal